Okay, stayed just outside of Sligo last night because I ran out of time and I couldn't get up to the secret waterfalls or the cliffs I wanted to, as I had a live stream. But I just wanted to show you this place that I found last night, and I don't know how I find these places. Over the far side of the water here, you have Sligo and the mountain range behind it. It's a very picturesque area. I actually parked up on this side last night. Great spot, really quiet, only one or two other campers here. It is a beautiful tidal harbour, only holds about 20-30 boats at maximum, and I'll take you up in a second. But the most important thing I want to explain, if you are coming out here to Raghly Harbour, do not take this bottom route where you can see the people walking in the distance. It's got a very tight entrance, and especially in my camper. I've got some bramble marks on each side. Believe it or not, it's only about 500-600 metres down there, but the problem was there was about 10 or 15 tourist cars, and it took me 25 minutes because I was totally unable to reverse. It was impossible. So it took me 25 minutes just to get up that lane because everyone had to reverse back to here. And shall I say, I might have upset a few of them because they didn't want to reverse, but I didn't realise there's two entrances. One here, one up the back this way. This one's meant to be a much easier entrance, so I would recommend coming in from the ocean side rather than coming in along the front of the peninsula. Let me take you up for a walk and we'll have a look around the harbour while I walk back to the back. Not come in on that road. You will regret it. Nice dock for loading your rib or whatever you've got. Good slipway. Now that's the road you're meant to come up, and we'll be heading out this way. They say it's a lot wider and much more manageable, and it does look a lot better than the dirt track I came down. Grey seals, bottle dolphins. And there you go, a beautiful day, and I think we've got 5-6 days of this, and I've only got the Donegal stretch to do now to the top, and then it's going visit Barry at his appliance business. And let's make a move. Heading up to Killybegs, I think is the name, the secret waterfalls, and we'll have a look up there. Neighbours last night. Take care both. Ta-da. That to the right is not the road you take here. I keep on about it, but it did cause me some problems to say. It was exceedingly tight, and this is much easier. And that's over the back. I can't emphasise Raghly Harbour, a great spot. It's one of those places sometimes you just don't want to tell anyone. And I've got to duck in here and let them through. Lovely little cottage there. I mean, for anyone with a Volkswagen camper or any small camper, you know, you've got no problems in all these places, sorry. But when you drive just over an 8-metre rig, on occasions it can be tight. Anyway, I'll leave you with some music just while I go up these lanes. Quicker for him to back up to there, but never mind. A lot more solar on properties, I'm glad to see, up here. Down south there was a very limited amount of solar on the properties. It's really just only catching on down there.
You're tuned into the How to Repair radio show. If you're enjoying the drive on this road to repair, hit that subscribe button to join the journey.
So, where we're coming up to at the moment, can you see this entrance on the right hand side? That's the one not to take. It gets exceedingly tight. Now towards Sligo, as they pronounce it, which is that large lump, there are a couple of very large campsites down there, and if you look on the point right out there to the right, you can see one of them, and not my cup of tea. It's always a squeeze. Well, I've got 3 hours until this afternoon's stream, and I've only got about 1 hour 40 minutes to the secret waterfalls, but I think I can only gain access on low tide. So, depending on what parking and camping is up there, I'm going to have a nice leisurely day and only do a couple of hours driving. Just turn the camera on so you can have a look at this. Those are the big mountains behind, well, not big, but I imagine they're 800 meters, and that's behind Sligo. Off to the left is where we're going round to, and that should take us about an hour or so, and you can see how high the cliffs must be over there even from this distance, and we're an hour away. I just hope there's not too many tourists on the road as it's Sunday. Now this is what I mean with regards to traffic. I haven't been able to get out of here for a minute or so, but I think I have a gap. That will do me. I just saw 4 or 5 caravans going down here. Where's Mr. Clarkson with his bazooka when I need him? This N15 is an excellent road, very fast, and even the caravans are ploughing along. So we're making good time today. Okay, just coming on the outskirt road to Donegal. This is bypassing the actual town itself or city, and we're able to make a little bit more time. Not a lot to see here. But the N15 road, and then we're going to be turning onto the N56. These are excellent roads. Really, they are exceedingly wide, nice verge, so you can pull over if there's a lot of traffic, you know, just for a few seconds while cars fly by. It's a really good pace. Okay, on the bypass road to Donegal town or city, whatever it is. Oh, nice laundry over there. We're coming off the N15 and we're now going on to the N56, I believe. And this takes us up to Killybegs, and that's where the waterfalls are, roughly around that area. But as I said earlier, it's high tide, so I'm going to have to miss out on them. I just turned the camera on again for you because we're meant to be going over some estuary or something. Might be worth a peek. Big cruise liner.
Aye aye. This is the How To Repair radio show. Don't bin it, fix it, and let's get straight into the next track.
So this is the place, so big fishing fleet as well. And there's some serious fishing boats. Should have a good look at the harbour because this cuts down along the front of it. some of these are all the same colour. That means it's usually the same fleet. What is it with all these teddy bears? Of course, all the blue fleet up this end. We're going to attempt to get down to a beach right on the headland. All the places back there, including the waterfalls, everything, were not even room to park, never mind pitch for the night. A lot of peat beds around here, and hopefully this is okay. I've had a glance at it on the map. It could be time to turn the fan on when I come back up, because it could be a steep drop down by the look of it. But you know what amazes me is these roads. When you consider, you know, out of tourist season, these roads get zero traffic nearly. I think the only people that use it are the sheep. Right, we have a lay-by there. There's no pubs here, because their car park would have sufficed. But there are a couple up the road, so I might actually do the show from here and then take a trip up and park in one of their car parks, because it'll save me eating tinned food because I haven't done any shopping. Now this is actually meant to be one of the best beaches up this part of the world. We will see. Best beach I've ever been to was a place called Fernando de Noronha, and that's the islands off northern Brazil, off northern Brazil, Fortaleza, about 400 miles off. You had to climb down a ladder and then walk through a cave system which the locals lit up with candles every day. And there's not that many tourists there, I can promise you that. I believe now you need to get a visa just to visit the island because it's a wildlife sanctuary for spinner dolphins. But the point of the conversation is you walk out of the caves and then you end up on a beach, which is a tropical beach with palm trees. Like, the easiest way of describing it is like a semi-jungle behind it, but the steam comes off the sand as the waves break onto the sand because it's literally that hot there. And it is unbelievably stunning. My hat goes off to you, Irish government. For the tourism side, it is absolutely superb roads. And what a lovely cove. We've got hostels, but I haven't seen a pub. The good news is if they're coming out from here, at least it means there's some parking. Ugh. There's no way. Oh, come on. I've got no way. You have to dump in there. Yeah, if you go in, I can go up. No, if you go in, I can go up.
I don't think you're going to find any space in there.
It's full, is it?
I just reversed out. I'm supposed to be.
Well, my problem being now is I'm committed, so I've got to turn.
Good luck.
There's a bit of turning space in there.
I had to reverse out. Well, there's one little place to turn, but I don't think you're going to get to turn. Saying you might want to come in here.
Okay, I'll try that.
All right, good luck.
Cheers, lovely.
Bye.
Did you spot much turning up there? I didn't realise it was going to be Blackpool.
Yeah, you will get turned.
You won't turn?
You will, I would say, you just drive forward, you'll have to reverse back down or whatever, but there's a space in it.
Yeah, don't forget I need, because I'm a triaxle, and that is going to be these cars are too tight on that side for me to back up in here.
Yeah. No, at the back of that.
Back of that car park there might be something.
There is
Okay.
enough for you.
I'll take your word on it. Take care. Okay. I got myself into a lovely little pickle here. Just going to have a look. I'm having to get out of here. There is no parking whatsoever here. I will have to come and visit this place on a Monday, because Sunday is sheer madness. Slowly, slowly. Okay, we had dinner in that pub last night. It was okay, it was nothing special. It was affordable, nice atmosphere, and they had some music playing later. I was actually staying down at this beach because I couldn't get to Silver Sands beach, I think it's called, which is meant to be one of the best beaches in the area, and that was because the traffic on a Sunday was absolutely horrendous. So we're going to take a trip back up there today. I was actually parked up here when we eventually get there. It's a lovely little village. You can't actually park down at the football pitch, which I thought you could do, because it did say on Park for Night that you could park there. I was just up round here on the corner. Now the beach is beautiful, but you've got to walk a couple of, only 2 minutes down to the beach. It's just you don't get the panoramic views that you sometimes get. And as you've seen, you know, I do go for the panoramic park up, because there's nothing better than waking up overlooking the ocean and the cliffs and everything else. But it is a truly stunning part of the world. And that's where I was parked in on the right hand side there. It's pretty level, but you don't get to actually overlook the beach and the ocean because there's a bank in the way. So anyway, we're taking a quick 14-minute run up. If you have a look to the right, you can see the beach. That's low tide. Again, the roads are excellent. And what I'll do now is I'll put some more music on for you.
You're with the How to Repair radio show, where we keep the music playing and the machines running.
I think that's called Rathlin O'Brien Lighthouse. But don't go by my pronunciation. This was absolute mayhem going down to Silver Strand yesterday, and what a difference.
The speed limit is 50 kilometers per hour.
No cars whatsoever, and I might even have parking. And that's where I came from yesterday, over the other side. Beautiful countryside, some lovely streams which I would definitely like to tap into for the renewable energy with a water turbine. I'll slow up as I go over this bridge so you can see a typical little stream down there on the left. And there it is, meandering through. And that runs straight out onto one of those beaches. Just thought I'd record this stream running on the right hand side. You know, this everywhere you go, it's absolutely stunning. All the peat covered up. I've got a funny feeling you're going to get a view. Just looking on the map and looking at the altitude we're at. Might have to turn the cooling fan on. It's 30 degrees today. All depends on how steep this gets. But you can see the road going all the way up through to the top. Engine cool down. Every hill you go over, just more panoramic views. Now, I just thought I'd do this because maybe I'm too old to start this, but if you're ever interested, I just did some research on this farm. With 18 acres, you can see the building in front of you. The stream runs through the land, so if you know what you're doing, you get free electricity from a water turbine. You've got clear south-facing land to put solar on. Plenty of workshops that could be done up. Look at the buildings there in front of you. You've most probably got 3 large outbuildings which could be used for some type of homecraft, farming, whatever you want to do. £150,000 is the asking price. And I had a look on their website and there's many more, a lot less than that. But for me, that actually makes a lot of sense, south facing. And you look like you're on a peat bed as well, so you've also got that fuel. Yeah, really interesting property. Beautiful location, no more than 5-10 minutes to the sea, and I've already eaten in one of the restaurants around here, and there's plenty of other good ones as well. Well, the road to these waterfalls is a bit of a narrow one. There's some certain large ripples in the road which I've got to make sure I don't bottom out on. So it's a very slow process. But why would you want to go fast looking at this? Not going up there. Yeah. Quick question. Knowing I'm 8 meters, this road's okay?
Down, take it down, Granny Glen.
Yeah, it's the waterfall I was popping up to see.
It takes you past Mara Beach and the waterfall.
Excellent. Brilliant. Okay, it's just a bit steep on the old girl. Definitely not a second gear, and an excellent idea to put the van on. But everyone's helpful. The guy said you shouldn't have any problem at all, and there's a beautiful waterfall up here and also a lovely beach, so he said. Come on, goat. I'm so glad I wired that cooling fan up. Got ya. But then there's a corner that buggers you up, and someone coming. No chance, you're gonna have to go back. Sorry. No, come this, no, come. the problem with these country roads. He doesn't realise how far back he's got to go. Off here. Yeah, just. Now we're starting to get to Moroccan type roads. I'm sure I'm just an adrenaline junkie. And even if she breaks down, what a lovely part of the world to have to fix it. Okay, I might have to wait a week or so for a spare part to arrive. Just holding in second. What a spectacular view. And looking at this GPS, we are going down it. So many rundown properties up here. The younger generation has abandoned the community and gone to the cities. And I think mostly it's only the elderly left. This happens in Spain and Portugal. A lot of the younger generation, there's nothing there for them, no opportunities, and they move to the cities. And you can see it's happened here as well. It's only the holiday homes and everything, really, I think, that props up the community. Crying shame, really, when it's such a beautiful part of the world.
You're listening to the How To Repair radio show. Weren't the strings on that last track just brilliant?
You know, I've got to admit, I think there is something seriously wrong with me. I need to see a shrink because I think I've got what you call adrenaline junkie scenario. That's what I'm calling it. Because a camper of this size shouldn't be venturing up on these passes. Let's just hope there's not much traffic coming, because they have got zero chance of me reversing. And that stream must be part of the waterfall. Right, let me just have a look down here if there's any vehicles coming. Okay, it looks pretty clear. What a view. I mean, unreal. This is pretty much similar to Morocco, apart from there was no tarmac. You know, in a lot of places we were on shingle type roads. They did put tarmac in on very steep gradients, but the local lorries and everything, oh god, that's stunning. This camera footage better come out. That's why I double checked everything. Well, I'm going to do a video at the very end of the Wild Atlantic Way, and it's going to be called the highlights or the best parts of the trip. And to be honest with you, I'm pulling over for a second while I'm able to. Anyway, it's going to be called the highlights, and this road is definitely going to be part of it. I know I could put my van in problems, but if you don't risk it, you don't get to benefit from it. And this was one of those occasions which was worth the risk. I'll leave the camera run until the bottom. I lied. There's only room for the van. I did say earlier this road was wide enough for me and the sheep, but it's not. Pitch camp and enjoy. big is that stream now? Well, it's turning into a river. Oh, here's the waterfall. Must be coming down over there. Okay, at the waterfalls, been for a swim, absolutely stunning location and a great drive getting here, as you saw. The water is exceedingly warm, which I was surprised at. Anyway, let's get on to the next location. "34 minutes till the next stop." And it looked quite a good parking spot. Oh, I need to do the hatch. I keep forgetting to shut the hatch. There's no trees at the moment. Backwards. And someone that can drive. If you come out, oh. Pull in there. Just quickly bolt that hatch down. Gorgeous beaches everywhere, but you need the weather. God, look at these spots for a house. We're going all the way round to the other side. Loads of oyster farming here. Well, that's a bit of a... Oh, Jesus. Well, that was definitely worth the drive. My God. Whew! That was exceedingly tight. That was about the tightest bit of driving I've had to do in this.